Hey everyone, and welcome to another video on my channel, The Nancy Drew Times. I am excited about this video. I am nervous about this video because we are going to be ranking the Nancy Drew game Culprits today, and that is something that is so intimidating. Like, I feel like I can maybe rank the games a little bit better than I can the Culprits. It's a big task to really go through these Culprits, but we're gonna do it today, so I'm excited. Thinking about how I was going to rank the culprits and maybe what makes a good culprit to me, a good villain to me. One is I really appreciate like the motive of the culprit, like why do they do what they do? Does it make sense? Does it follow through with their story? I like that. I think that to me really solidifies a lot of the, I can kind of understand that about them, why they would do that, and maybe, that was kind of uncalled for, you know what I mean? Also too, their personality, like some culprits may be way more memorable than others, and then also just the authenticity of the character. Like, do I believe this character, that this person could actually exist or not? So those are kind of the things that I was thinking about when ranking the culprits in my head. I made a tier list, and there are 5 different tiers, and I kind of want to go through them real quick and explain them before we get started. So one tier is a true villain, and this to me is just like, you are the baddest dog of the bunch, you have really scared me. You scare me, culprit. The next tier is a motivated angry person, and really what I just mean by this is that I wouldn't really say they rank like full villain status. Like, maybe they're not like super villainousy. Is that a word? Villainous? Yeah, villainous. Not villainousy. I don't know. Villainous. Yes. They're not super villainous, but they are motivated and angry about something. And so, yeah, they did something about it. The next tier is, where do I place you? And this one is really just like the middle. Like, I feel like there's going to be some culprits where I'm just like, I am not sure where to swing for you. And the next tier is yawn. This is characters that probably were not very memorable to me, characters that didn't really have an effect on me as a culprit. And then the last tier is fatal error. These are just culprits that I did not like at all. I did not care for them. They don't exist to me. I don't know. So I don't really know. This is my first tier thing to make, and I don't really know if I made it wrong. Like, is the top supposed to be green and the bottom supposed to be red? I think I tried to fix that, but it didn't work. So I don't know, but maybe it'll work. I don't know. We'll go with it though. So I'm just gonna start with a random one, I guess. Ooh, this is gonna be so hard, you guys. Okay, so let's just start with, let's see, Renee. Let's start with Renee from Crystal Skull, Legend of the Crystal Skull. Renee. Okay, so here's the thing about Renee. Like, Renee, I think, like, truly is scary to me. Like, because she plays really nice to Nancy, and I don't know, she does it really well. Like, she definitely has this like persona of, oh, here, drink this, I want you to feel better, and yeah, sure, go up in my room, take as many like cocoa Kringle bars as you want, and she really plays that motherly kind of like, oh, I'll take care of you, lady very well. But yet she has a hidden agenda, okay? And she scares me. Like, at the very end of the game, there's that that scene where she's like, and this little Yankee girl just tosses it right up to me, and the lightning like flashes, and her whole face is like shadowed, like half of it's kind of shadowed and the other part's lit up by the lightning. And that is, oh my gosh, I'm getting like chills talking about it. She's so scary. I think, and you really gotta think, okay, the whole reason is she is after this skull, this crystal skull. She wants it, I guess, for, she believes it has power, so she says that. She just does this, like, knowing that, poor Henry, all the things that he's going through, and she just doesn't care about Henry or anything. Yeah, she's just all really selfish in her motives. Like, she's just really wanting to do what she believes is best for her, and she wants this crystal skull. So I don't know. I think maybe. I don't even wouldn't really say she's angry. It's already hard, you guys. I think I'm gonna put her. This is difficult. Can I come back to this one? I don't know if I can or not. I think I'm gonna put her under true villain. I think I'm putting her under true villain because she really, I don't know, she just terrifies me. She terrifies me with the whole like voodoo, like dark magic. Like, I just feel like she plans and plots ahead because she knew she made that fake letter, and she's deceiving, very deceiving. I think I'm gonna put her under true villain. I think she is a true villain status. She's scary, but she plays the nice card really well. And yeah, I think that's our first true villain. Okay, so, and some of these games are gonna be kind of difficult because, like, technically some had maybe more than one culprit, or some had like I only think Castle Malloy. Like, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and where do I place you, right? The Honey of Castle Malloy, like, Fiona really didn't do anything like a crime per se. I mean, I don't know. That whole game is a story for another time. I'm just gonna have to put her under where do I place you, because, like, she didn't really do anything wrong. She didn't know any better. So Fiona goes, where do I place you? Because I don't know. Okay. Let's do Lisa from Treasure in the Royal Tower. So Lisa, to me, is not a very exciting culprit, in my opinion. Like, first of all, there's not a whole lot of personality or backstory with Lisa. Like, we get a very, very, very short and small moment where we're kind of exploring Lisa's locker. We see she's got multiple identities, and we're like, that's really suspicious. But other than that, we don't really get to know a whole lot about her, or just kind of the plotting and scheming of her. Like, I wish we would have maybe known more about that. And she's not like, all too nice to Nancy. She's a little nice to Nancy, but not like some of the other characters in games. But to me, she's not the most memorable culprit. Like, she pepper sprayed Nancy. That was rude. I don't know. I don't think she's a fatal error. I just think she's more of a yawn. I'm gonna say she's a yawn because I don't really remember her that well. I don't know. Lisa. I think she's a yawn. Her motive was to obviously, take the diamond. But I think she's a yawn. Yeah, she's not very memorable to me. Okay. Let's do Joseph Hughes from the final scene. Okay. Okay, Joseph Hughes. This guy is a villain right here. Like, okay, first of all, this man kidnapped Maya, okay? Totally kidnapped her and was going to let her die. And Nancy, okay, that doesn't even, like, there's no question. Like, he goes into true villain status. Oh my goodness. Like, that's hardcore. I mean, like, to think about it, like, he was going to let two innocent people just die. Like, what? That's crazy. Okay. And even, like, the way he was going to let them die, like, I mean, he was just going to let them be crushed in the demolition? Like, what? Okay. Yeah, he terrifies me. Especially because he also, I give him props. He thought through things really, really well. I mean, Joe, my man. I mean, this guy went to the trouble. He got a whole pizza for Maya. I mean, at least he took care of her. But I mean, he's got this pizza. He recorded himself on the mic to play while he was doing the kidnapping. This man is smart. Okay? But you know what? We caught him in the end. But he was going to let 2 people die. So I think he's true villain status. I think his personality is maybe less memorable, but the fact of like what he was going to do was so severe. I think that's why he is true villain status. Like I can maybe consider him a motivated angry person, maybe, but the fact that he did a kidnapping and was going to murder people, okay, you win villain status. Okay, so let's do, the Mapus. Okay, well, it's no question that I think the Mapus should go into fatal error. I think of Creature of Kapu Cave, and I think of the storyline, and I genuinely am confused. I am confusion. Like I don't get it. Like I don't understand what. Like I understand like the resolution a little bit, but like I don't. Their reasoning just wasn't. Their story, their believability, it just wasn't strong enough. Like their motive was, I felt like had too many holes, and it was just not put together as well. And plus, they're not really like, when I think of a villain, like if I'm going to compare the Mapus to Renee and Joseph, okay, those are way different. Like Renee, man, she made a fake letter and technically killed someone, and Joseph kidnapped a girl and was gonna kill her. That's so different than they spread some rumors about, the what was the man called, the Pele, and like the whole pineapple crop. Like that is so different, like in a whole nother, that's more like sabotage, but also their characters were just like whatever, like more flat to me. Like I feel like there were a little bit of times where I was like, oh, we're getting to know more about their backstory, but it would get shut off and it would be like, we didn't get to explore that more, and just some holes in the logic. To me, I don't know, they were not good culprits to me. Who should we do next? Okay, wait, let's see. Okay. Let's do... Okay. Oh, no, these are all so... Okay, Brenda Carlton, Alibi and Ashes. We'll do her next. Okay. So it's not murder, it's not kidnap, but it's arson and like blackmail and framing. So those are pretty severe too. This is gonna be hard. She's super, super, super memorable. Like, I remember her from Alibi and Ashes, and plus her character was so like, she just knows how to get like under your skin. You know what I mean? Like you're talking to her. Like I remember like playing as like Bess and Ned and George and all these all the characters, and every time she would say something and like twist it and trick you into saying certain things, and it was so like, oh, this character, like she's so mean. This is so difficult. So she was very jealous of Nancy. I mean, that's her motive. That's really what, pushed her to do the arson and frame Nancy, hoping that she would get... I don't think she is true villain status. I think she could... that's what I think. I think she has potential to be true villain status, Like, if she kind of kept going a little bit further, I think she would have done something even, like, way, 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 like, even worse than that. But I think she's just super angry and jealous, and that is really what has motivated her. I don't, so like, I would say that's like getting a B as far as culprits go, which is not bad. I don't think she's like maybe the best culprit, but she's definitely certainly up there as far as culprits. I think she's gonna be our first a motivated angry person. Brenda, she just knew what to do and twist and say. Okay, so let's do. Ooh, these are so good. I'm trying to figure out what to do, y'all. Okay, let's do Karine Myers. Karine Myers, I think that's her name, from Waverly Academy. So Karine is definitely like, she's very like sinister in the sense of like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get what I want, whatever it takes, you know? She's an all-in person. So like, I mean, she did so many things in this game, and she was like, she was ruthless. Like, it didn't matter who was coming her way. If it was in her way, it was gonna get out of her way. So she's pretty mean and scary. I was like, but a smart kind of scary, you know, like her intelligence level was just the fact that she could like research and know all these things about this, and that she, you know, was connecting all these dots and I mean, she's smart now. Karine's bad. I think Karine definitely had like a really like, I think a personality that was, you know, unlike any personality that we had gotten so far in a Nancy Drew game, because she almost played this like shy, you know, socially awkward character that, you know, didn't quite fit in. And I think that's an interesting approach to like a culprit, a villain, because, you know, it gives it just a little bit of a twist and something that we've never really, I don't think we've seen that quite that, you know, kind of interesting. Like maybe like what also caused you to do this, you know? Do you have a lot more of your backstory that maybe, you know, has gotten you to this point, which I think is kind of interesting to think about, and as a player fill in all those parts and portions of the character as well. So I like the personality, you know, partnered with what she did, how she was. She's definitely believable. I think she's a true villain, y'all. I think she's reached true villain status. I really do. She was determined. That's maybe the word I should use. She was very determined. Ooh, okay. Hey, we're doing great. Okay. I think we should, let's do, okay, when I was putting the characters in, I thought it was funny that Jane and Jane were in games back to back as culprits. So, anyways, even though her real name's not Jane. Alright, but let's do Jane from Secret of the Old Clock. Let's do her. Jane. Jane Willoughby is, you know, she stole some jewelry and impersonated someone, but her personality is, she's just not very, I don't really think of her when I think of the culprits from the Nancy Drew games. I don't know, like she's all right, I guess, but she's definitely not something that interests me, you know. I don't know. Her personality is very flat, and I realized that that's kind of like the character approach that she had was just going to be, you know, just this, you know, kept to herself, you know, character, you know, was very quiet, you know. But yeah, I mean, her level of like villain is not up there with all the rest of the villains, and honestly, she's just not as memorable as the other ones. So I think she's our next Yawn. I think she's our next Yawn. She's all right. She's not great, not terrible. I wouldn't say fatal error status, but she's definitely a Yawn. I wouldn't really remember her. Ooh, okay. Oh, these are so hard, you guys. I told you ranking the culprits was gonna be so hard. Okay. How about Lewis from Message in a Haunted Mansion. Now, I love Message in a Haunted Mansion as a game, but I really don't like Lewis as a culprit. I just recently was actually watching a playthrough of someone on YouTube playing Message in a Haunted Mansion, and I was reminded again of why, like, he just didn't stick to me. Like, his character is very bland, and like he's just so, like, monotone. I don't know. Even, like, maybe I'll play a clip here in a minute. Like, even at the end when the whole, like, he's, you know, knocking Nancy out and trying to get the gold coins or whatever, even the way the lines are, like, just delivered is so boring. Like, it's not, like, it's just not as exciting. Like, he's not very, like, ooh, villain.
So long, losers.
Yeah, you know, like, he's just much more like, I'm gonna take the coins now. And that's, no, like, take the coins, you know, like, and run. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard not, it's between Yawn and Fatal Error. Okay, I think okay, I'm actually gonna put him, y'all, this may be shocking, but I'm gonna put him under Fatal Error. And the reason why is because in the game, I don't think we were given enough personality about Lewis. I don't think we were given a lot about, you know, just him as a villain, as a culprit, as a person. Like, he's very one-dimensional. Not much is known about him. His motive, yes, was to get the treasure. And, you know, he snuck his way into working for, you know, Abby and Rose. But to me, he's just super forgettable. And it's not really that great of a villain. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. No, maybe he could be Yawn. You know what? I've changed my mind. He is a Yawn. I think it was wrong to put him in Fatal Error. I don't think he's that bad. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I guess his whole conspicuous, like, getting, you know, sneaking into the mansion and working as, like, I'm researching the mansion it's pretty clever. So I'll give him that. But I still think he's a Yawn. I don't think he's that great of a culprit. Okay. So moving on to... let's do... Andy Jason. Man. My first Nancy Drew game. Always a special place in my heart. So... although love this game, I don't think he goes up at true villain status. I don't think he is as diabolical as, you know, Renee, Karine, and Joseph. But he is bad to the bone, though. I mean, he did technically, I guess, well, he did kidnap Katie, though. Joseph kidnapped someone. But, I don't know. Something about Andy is, like, like, he smuggled, but, like, and he was very nice and very cunning in the way he did the whole operation of, you know, getting the smugglers and using the tunnels. But I honestly think, I don't know if he ranks a true villain. I really don't. I think maybe more, I'm going to put him under a motivated, angry person. Yeah. To me, I think Andy has more of a story that we need to know a little bit about. And we don't know all what's happened in his life, you know? Maybe things have made him get to this point, you know? I don't know. I want to know more about Andy. He kind of maybe could border about where do I place you. Well, no. He did some bad things. He really did do some bad things. I'm just going to put him under a motivated, angry person. I think that he's like a B. He's a B- as a culprit, I think. He's pretty scary, and the fact that I think I mentioned in my Danger on Deception Island game review video on YouTube, he is kind of like the mastermind of his crew. Like, you know, he has smugglers, so I think that puts him pretty up high. I mean, like, he is smart, he's thought through, he has a plan, so I think that's where I'd put him. I don't think I'd rank him higher or lower. I'm going to say that's where he goes. Ooh, okay. Let's do Shorty Thurman. Oh, if this guy asks me to go pick some more tomatoes one more time. Okay, Shorty Thurman. This guy is wild. Like, he was out to get Nancy from day one. Okay, when I think about it, when I think about his villainous ways, he's bad. No, he's a good villain in the sense that he didn't like stop at nothing. Like, he was like, this guy painted a whole horse white, y'all, to make it glow, to make people think there was a phantom horse. This guy is dedicated. Okay, so if he's dedicated to that degree, I think he deserves a true villain status. Okay, so Shorty, Brother Shorty, is a true villain. And you know, you got the whole like, his ending was completely creepy, and he's creepy. I'm creeped out by him when he's like, what does he say at the end? Oh yeah, here's Shorty. Yeah, no, go back to the farm, cause no, I won't go back to my happy place where I'm making shadow cake and I'm riding Bob to Mary Ozzy's. Get out, Shorty. Okay, so he's a true villain. Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna do Detective Beach next. I'm be honest with you guys, okay? I have never played the original Secrets Can Kill, so I feel like I'm not the best person to comment on this. But, like, I've played the remastered version, but it's hard because I can't really compare it to the original. I know kind of the story had been kind of cut out in some parts, and Detective Beach was the new character that was added. But as far as a character, I will say, okay, like, whoa, he pulled a gun out on Nancy, and that was pretty severe. But as far as a culprit, I mean, like, I don't really know a lot about him, but the fact that he, you know, impersonated a cop, that's pretty good. And he played off the whole, like, Uncle Steve thing really well. Like, I think he was like, I'm Uncle Steve, you know, and I don't know, he played it really well. But I feel like that, like, I almost would place him at Where Do I Place You, because I'm actually not sure. But it's kind of hard because the fact that he pulled a gun out on Nancy makes me want to put him under a motivated angry person. Because, right? Like, I mean, he was angry that he couldn't figure out Jake's, like, clues and get what he wanted from Jake, and all the little things that were happening with the drug dealing, all the things. I don't know, y'all. See, I knew this was going to be hard. I really did. Okay. Because I just truly do not know. But he did. He pulled a gun out on us. Okay. I think Detective Beach is going to go into... Oh, where does it go? I don't know. Okay. Okay. He is a motivated angry person. That's where I'm going to put him. Okay, it's official. Detective Beach is a motivated angry person. Yes, his motivation was just out of the pure exhaustion of trying to figure out where all the clues and the Jake stuff and just everything, all of it. I think this guy just had it and was looking for his journal and couldn't figure it out. And I think he was just motivatedly, is that a word, motivatedly? I'm making up words in this whole video. He's just angry. And I don't know, when he pulled out that gun, I was like, who is this? This is not Uncle Steve. Okay, so I think he is a motivated angry person. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so Minette. Okay, Minette is next. But here's the thing about Minette is that it's like she is a villain, she's a villain. She's a culprit. But she was much more like not the main culprit. I mean, she was, but she wasn't. I feel like it was more the two, I actually don't know what we would call them, but the two other guys in the game that were the criminals, or, you know, that were kind of like blackmailing her to do this for them. And, you know, she was, yes, doing it, and, you know, it was in it for the money and all the things like that. But it seems much more that, like, Minette has a lot more of, like, she is easily swayed, you know. I think Minette has a lot of, you know, just personal things going on in her own life. You know, I don't know. She's very eccentric, but I don't think she's like, she's definitely not forgettable. You definitely remember her. And she's very rude.
Utterly rude.
I think we're just gonna have to put Minette in where do I place you? Because if I'm being honest with myself, I don't know where to place Minette. I really don't, because I think she just falls in the middle. Personally, I think she just falls in the middle. She is almost not really like a villain, and at the same time, she did do things that were wrong. She's not unforgettable, but she's not the worst. So I think she just is sandwiched in the middle. So that's where she goes. Okay, so, let's do Rintaro, yeah. This guy, okay, let's talk about this, because although he didn't do anything like maybe as outwardly, you know, bad as murder or kidnapping, something of that nature, he did do something that was like, I mean, that was wrong, like what he did. I mean, the whole like creating a ghost and scaring people to death, and, you know, really just manipulating all of the family stuff that was going on with Miwako and Yumi and Takai. That was so mean. And like, he's like kind of part of their family because he's with Miwako, and it just, I don't know, like, oh man. But see, here's the problem, is that I don't think he was playing nice. I think his personality actually is like, what is nice, you know? But I think it's just like, he was doing something that he thought would work or help or in some kind of way, but it really wasn't. And, you know, by him, you know, making this ghost and these fabrications and these stories and just going to a really full extent, it just really, I think, was messing up the family unity that was already really weak in the family because of, you know, hurt past things. So I don't really appreciate that about him. I think that's really, like, man, Rintaro was so, like, bad. True villain status or a motivated angry person? I don't know, because if you think about it, Shadow of the Water's Edge, at the very end, that robot scary thing almost drowned Nancy. This is so hard. I just don't know. Okay. I think Rintaro would go under a true villain, because he did this to his own family, y'all. So I don't know. I think that's pretty mean. It's pretty villainous to do that to your own family. Like, you are doing what you think. I don't know. You're doing your own thing. I don't know. Just really not taking into account the feelings of others. Like, that's so villainous. Like, you are just going hard. So I'm going to say Rintaro is at the top. Wow, we have so many more characters. I don't even know where to rank them though. Let's do... Ooh, Victor. Okay. Without a doubt, Victor is going to go into a true villain. Because the fact that he murdered Nico out of just pure jealousy. And also, too, we got to think about the fact that Victor actually is the one that called Nancy to throw her off the tracks and tried to frame Ryan. This guy is, like, insane. Like, he is insane. And he just is really, you know, I don't know, like, just the way that he works is so twisted because, like, he made sure to cover his ground and really, like the security footage and really make it look like it was Ryan and throw Nancy off by calling Nancy and just... He's pretty bad. And then the fact that he came in person later in the game, which was such a twist but so awesome, and then he tried to do the same thing that he did to Nico to Nancy. Okay, bro, say no more. You're a true villain. You get true villain status. So Victor's at the top, no question about that to me. Schott. Okay, Schott. Schott. He's not a true villain. I don't think he's a fatal error. I actually don't think he's... I don't think he's maybe a yawn either. I could technically... I feel like he could swing into motivated angry person because he was very angry at a lot of things that were happening, and that's really what caused him to do all the bad things that he did. And his personality is a little bit more memorable to me because Schott is one of those characters that was very rough and that was very... It just had a sense of realism, you know, throughout his character. Like, I can totally see a character being, you know, that way. I mean, a person in real life being that way. So I don't know. It's a stand between where do I place you in a motivated angry person, but I feel more inclined to put him under a motivated angry person because... I just feel like his motivation to harm the team was so pushed by a lot of outwardly things that were going on, and also just the competition with the other team and just the money and all of the secrecy and everything. So I think he would be a motivated angry person. But it also, you know, when you're working with your team, it hurts that Schott would, you know, purposely try and sabotage his own, you know, team. So that's pretty messed up. I think he's a motivated angry person for sure. Ooh, man, we have so many more. Okay. Dwayne Powers. Okay. Well, we can definitely say that Dwayne Powers... So this would be technically for the 2 games, Stay Tuned for Danger and Ransom on the 7 Ships. Dwayne Powers, he's so bad. Like, okay, the first game, Culprit was alright, you know, and I'm not even... So, like, again, we're talking about Detective Beach, and I'm just talking about the remastered. He was okay. I think the fact that he pulled a gun out on Nancy was thrilling at the end. And also, because I had no prior knowledge of the first original Nancy Drew game, like I didn't know what the storyline was and how it goes, playing the remastered for me was actually like playing the first one for the first time. So I actually totally did not see that Detective Beach was going to be the actual culprit. Had no idea. I know that some people actually already knew that that's what was going to happen because they had already played the first one, but I had no idea, and I personally didn't well, I don't think you could have seen it coming, or maybe you could have, but it's just so, like, I would not have expected the guy that said he was, like, the undercover cop with me to be the actual bad guy. Like, I just didn't see that coming at all. It was such a plot twist, and I think that's why he's there. But in Stay Tuned for Danger, though, I mean, Dwayne Powers, we're talking about, like, he put a bomb. Like, what? Like, this guy... he won't stop. And then the fact that he returns later because he's that mad at Nancy, say no more. Like, sir, you are This is also him, so I'm putting both of his pictures up there. You reach true villain status, like, and then the fact in Ransom of the Seven Ships that he went to the extent to like put on a disguise, like a wig, and this guy will stop at nothing. Like, he is a true villain. Okay, ooh, you guys, I think we've done at least half. Let's see how many's one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Wait, that is like half. Okay. So we've done about half. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay. Okay, Alicia Cole from Midnight in Salem. Ooh, this is like the new game, y'all. So, to be quite honest with you, I've only played Midnight in Salem once, and never again have I played it. And I don't really know Alicia Cole that well. I kind of vaguely remember what she was doing, like, but not a lot. I don't think she was a fatal error. I really don't. But out of all the wonderful Nancy Drew games, do I remember her? No. I don't. And, yeah. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think she's quite a yawn. I think she's more of a where do I place you. I think the reason why is because in Midnight in Salem, they gave her a lot more personality than, say, someone like Jane Willoughby or Lewis Chandler. There was a lot more script and depth to her and her motive and knowing her personality and how she is very deceiving and manipulative. So I think Alicia Cole goes more into a where do I place you, because I think I would have to play Midnight in Salem a few more times for me to find another tier for her. She's much more in the middle right now because I don't know a lot about Alicia. So I need to get to know Alicia a little bit better than that. Let's do Laurie Gerard. Ooh, Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. That's a big one. So, Laurie Gerard, here's what I like about her culprit. I think it is so good that, you know, the tabloids, the press, you know, you've been introduced to Laurie Gerard in the very beginning of the game, and everyone always makes these little comments. Like, everyone that you talk to, you know, will make a comment about Laurie, how she's like an airhead, and she's, you know, ditzy, and like doesn't really, you know, whatever. But then as the story starts to kind of unfold and you start to learn that it's pointing towards Laurie Gerard as the culprit, you're learning that, whoa, she's a lot more sinister than what appears on the surface. And she's a lot smarter as well. She has thought about these things and really pieced them together. So she's not just someone that's just like, you know, reading a book. I mean, and at the same time she is, and that's what's so funny, you know, she's like, what did she say? What did she call Nancy? Like Mandy or Candy or something like that? Okay, Candy. You know, like whatever. She can never get the name right. But yeah, so she's definitely not... I think if I had to place Laurie correctly, I think I would put her under a motivated angry person, because I don't think she's necessarily a true villain per se, although she did try to leave Nancy out in the canyons by herself. So, Laurie, you wrong for that. But I do think she is, you know, angry, and, you know, the whole motive behind her character was, I'm going to get this thing and make myself have good publicity for once, not bad publicity. I don't want people saying all these things about me that aren't true. I'm going to do this, but she instead used someone else to get there. So I don't think she technically is a true villain in my opinion. I think she's definitely a motivated angry person. So that's where she's gonna go. Let's do Emily Griffin. Y'all, I have such a love for Emily Griffin. I do not know why, but she is a personal fave of mine. Okay. Let's digress on Emily Griffin. Her personality is super nice, and I think I like that about her, is that she's the very helpful character, you know, like she's gonna take care of Nancy and make sure that Nancy's okay. And I like that she is deceiving Nancy in that way. Although I will say she's a little too nice in the game. But she still has that, like, I'm going to throw Nancy off by being super nice to her. And I like that about her. And I love that she is so obsessed with, like, things and money and artifacts. And, like, that's what she's after. Like, I remember reading the whole magazine, the magazine, and it said, there's gold down there. That's how they said it. And they quoted Emily Griffin, which was so funny. Like, that's how she talks, and she's funny. So at the very end, she does have a giant gold bone. And that is something I don't know how to feel about. Like, what? First of all, where did this bone come from? What? You just found a gold bone? And what did you plan on doing with it? Like, were you really going to hit Nancy and knock her out? Because if she was just going to knock her out, that's not as bad. I think I'm just going to have to put Emily under a motivated angry person. Like, I don't think she's necessarily a true villain, although she is one of my faves. I just think that she has a motivation for money, and she will stop at nothing to get that money, and whatever she has to do, no matter how many laws come out at the park or tickets she gets, she wants to get this money. And so, I mean, and she goes through a lot. I mean, she's going to do these dogs, and wait a second. She did try and light Nancy on fire. Ooh, that may have earned Emily some bonus points in the villain category. Ooh. Man, this she really could go in both, couldn't she? So, I think it's possible that she could be a true villain. You know what? I think Emily just got moved up to true villain status. I think, because the thing is with Emily, I mean, like, she was not going to let down. Like, if doesn't matter who was going to move into the old Malone house, if it was Sally, if it was someone else, she was going to do everything in her power to scare them away. And it got to the point where, I mean, she really did try and light Nancy on fire. I mean, that's pretty severe. So I'm gonna say she's a true villain. She is that crazy about money. So that's where she goes. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of difficult. Okay, so let's do this. Labyrinth of Lies, Thanos, and Xenia. I hope I'm saying that right. Technically, with this game, the entire cast was the culprit because they all played a part in it, which I actually found that to be interesting. You know, an Instant game had never done that before, but there were two that were more guilty than the rest of them. So, but to be quite honest with you, I don't really like this game, and the cast of characters is quite forgettable out of all the characters that we know. But I also just don't feel as connected to this game, and I really just don't know where I would place them. So I guess I'm just gonna have to put them in the where do I place you. I just don't feel like I know them well enough, you know, to accurately put them in a spot. I mean, they were stealing art, which is really not true villain status to me. I would even put them in a motivated angry person. I'd have to play the game again to decide if they're gonna be yawn or not. I don't know. I'm just gonna put them in the middle because I really have no idea. So let's do Taylor Sinclair. Ooh, he's so evil. Okay, here's the deal. Taylor Sinclair is so like you know, skinny mustache, evil laugh kind of, you know, villain, and I think that's so funny that that's kind of how he's painted. The fact that he does shove Nancy in a monolith to die with some other skeleton in there is terrifying. like she was just gonna like die of lack of oxygen in there because she couldn't breathe. So it's pretty, I mean, that's murder. So I mean, and you know, pushing Henrik down the stairs, this guy, he's not gonna stop. So I would say Taylor Sinclair can go into true villain status, because if he's gonna do that, that is pretty severe, I think. Okay, so Jane from Blackmore Manor. Let's see. Jane from Blackmore Manor did some pretty messed up things. Like she did, you know, with the whole like tricking her stepmom, Linda, into believing that she was going under... Ooh, what's the word from the game? Lycanthropic metamorphosis? Is that it? Oh my goodness. It's like I feel like I unlocked something from like 2009 in my brain. Yeah, no, I think that's what it's called. So she does do that, and she does do the whole like she took Mrs. Drake's sleeping pills to give to her to make her eat. So she did little, you know, things that, you know, were dangerous, but I wouldn't quite call them so villainous and evil. But I do think that Jane is angry, obviously, about the move, the change, the new stepmom, and she wants her birth mom there with her in her life, and not her stepmom. And so that's kind of her motivation, and she's angry. I think Jane is quite a believable character, and a personality that comes out in the game. Always wanting you to play games with her. Always. You want to play a game? No, I don't. So I think I'm going to have to put her into a motivated, angry person, because I think that's what Jane is. She is motivated and angry. Okay, so... Ooh, man, we're getting down to our final few. Okay, so let's do... Let's do Clara. Clara from Ghost of Thornton Hall. Forgive me on these names, y'all, because I'm trying to remember them off the fly, and if I don't say them right, I'm so sorry. If I don't remember them right, I'm also sorry. Yes, Clara from Ghost of Thornton Hall, I think, is not... Oof. Man, this is going to be a hard one. I don't think she's angry. I think to me, Clara sounds more like a person who is much more, caught up with what happened. Well, when you look at all the things she's done, though, okay. But she is very, like... Okay, has anyone ever seen Rapunzel? Disney's Rapunzel? That's what she reminds me of. She reminds me of the mom off of Rapunzel. Like, she's so controlling. And... like, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, she's so controlling and, like, wants to have a say in everything. I don't know. So hard. Okay. I think I'm going to put her into... Oh, I don't know where to put you. Possibly... I think I will put her under true villain. Thinking more on what all she did and how twisted she treated her family, I can see her being a true villain, under true villain status, because she truly was out to, make chess pieces out of her family. Like, she wants to be the one that's in control and will, just do whatever, like, so, and she knew she was responsible in the game. Like, she knew that at the end. But yeah, no, I think what she did was really, I don't know, like, such a villainous thing to do, in my opinion. Okay, so, ooh, I don't remember this guy's name. His name is Abdullah. Yeah, Abdullah. Okay, so Abdullah has a really strong personality. You know, I don't think I would call him a true villain, but maybe a motivated angry person. Yeah, like he's not like, yeah, like that's what I would say. I'd say maybe he's just a truly an angry individual and is motivated to act upon that anger. But yeah, like, because he kind of lashes out at Nancy a few times and just at people. I wish we knew a little bit more, maybe more about him, you know, and just kind of how he is, where, you know, I don't know, but I don't personally connect with him as much, but I do think that he is some, you know, a very strong, pretty good character to be a villain, I think. Okay. Oh, Elliott from the Quantum Carousel. Hello. Okay. So, Elliott was making fake horses, right? Replicas, like fake replicas, and then selling them like in the black market. But we don't really know. Like, yeah, I don't know if he's true villain status, but like, we don't really know if what he was planning to do with Nancy. He was like coming after her, but like I don't know if he was gonna like just, we don't know, but he definitely like got in the way of Joy trying to find more out about her mother, because he totally was getting in the way of that, and that's not cool. I don't know. I think he's more of an angry, motivated angry person. I don't know if I'd really rank him like true villain status. I don't think he's like so like evil, but he's definitely, I think, up there in terms of, well, we don't really know. He may have grabbed Nancy, tied her up, knocked her out, but he was definitely like, okay, you're not going to stop me from selling my fake horses, so I'm going to show you right now. And then he was going to come after her. I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe put her on a roller coaster and then don't press stop. I don't know. But I think that's a pretty good fit for him, though. Okay. Anya? So Anya, I don't know, like she went to the extent of you know, putting on that monster costume and creating that, you know, scare among the people, but I don't think she's true villain status. I think she's definitely a motivated angry person if I had to pinpoint her, because she was angry about a lot of things with her employment there at the castle and, you know, what was going on. But yeah, I don't think she's true villain status. But I will say, the ending where she, you know, says, you know, you don't want to make an enemy of me, I will see you again, Nancy, was actually really like, ooh, that's, you know, she's got, I'm scared of Anya. And then she even says, I'm gonna say it wrong, off Wiedersen, which, and she was like, and you do know what that means, don't you, Nancy? Until we meet again. And so, like, that was a really serious ending. I was like, oh, that means Anya's gonna come back one day. Like, which really, like, creeped me out. May have to do a theory video on how Anya comes back into the picture. If you'd like to see that, let me know. That would be a really interesting video. But yeah, I think she's just a motivated, angry person, if I had to pinpoint her. Okay, let's do Elena. Elena Berg. Ooh, it's so hard to remember their names from like so long ago. Like if I haven't played like that one in a really long time. That one's it's so hard to remember their names. Okay, so let's do her. So first of all, she's a ringleader, and that's scary. So like she gets pretty up there, I think, with with the villain status for being just the ringleader and controlling all of it with the stealing and whatnot. But she goes to extreme, extreme measures to, plan this whole thing out. And I think for her to be over like a whole corporation of other villains and other culprits and stuff is, you have to be so intelligent to put that all together and to come up with all these like, smart, intelligent ways. I mean, it's kind of like a mafia, and for her to be the leader over that, she doesn't even have to do something crazy like murder or kidnapping. Like, she just gets true villain status because that's a villain. Like, you are a villain for being able to think that deeply into things, like forgetting what you want. That makes her a total villain in my opinion. So I think she ranks that. She wins that status. And especially too because I always felt like for whatever reason when I played that game and I saw the whole ending and all that, I always felt like she would be such a great character to bring back, because she was so out to get Nancy, for foiling her schemes, and she was so mad about it. And I always thought that she would be such a great character to like break out of prison and like come back or something like that. But that would be really cool. So okay, so we have Soren. I personally don't think Soren is a true villain. When we meet him in the ice caves, I mean, he does try and leave us there, but I don't think he's true villain status. If anything, I think he's a motivated, angry person. That's where I'd put him, honestly. Okay, so Ewan. Okay, Ewan's pretty cold. I mean, like, what he's trying to do is pretty cold. And it's not even to a specific, it's like to a whole population. So that's like a whole nother level of villain that I don't know. He's definitely, you know what? The thing that I think that like it definitely doesn't make him a true villain is like his personality is like, it's like whatever. And his motive is, I feel like, kind of random in the game. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would have to put him under where do I place you? Because what he was doing was whoa, but he's just not like super memorable. He's like whatever to me. But he's not necessarily a yawn. I don't know where I would place him because he's just, I need more from him to kind of decide on what to do with him. So, I don't know. He's a very, very miscellaneous character. Like, he goes into a random box that I don't even know what to do with. There's Johnny, and Johnny is a total yawn to me. Like, he kind of bores me, and I think it's super weird that he, I don't know, all these accidents or things he caused, and all to blame on a wolf, which is it's so weird. Like, it doesn't make sense, and he's just not an exciting culprit, if you look right now at the true villain status, those are some exciting culprits, but then you kind of like look at the yawn and you're like, yeah, like, you're just in the meh category, I don't remember you. Okay, and then her name from Shattered Medallion, Kiri. Oh man, Kiri, yes. So Kiri is, it's hard to separate like culprit and game. Like, I kind of like have a visual of like where I rank my games, but culprits are different. Like, just because the game is bad, maybe the culprit ranks higher, but not in this case. I honestly personally think that Kiri is just a fatal error. Yeah, I really am putting her under there, you guys, because Shattered Medallion, just in all of its entirety, is just such a low ranking game to me. in story and everything. It's just such a, like, that culprit to me was such a letdown, because I didn't think the motivation was quite there to me. It was like whatever, and her personality was like, we didn't get to learn a whole lot about her, and it just wasn't as fun and exciting. I don't know. So Carrie is an all right. No, she just goes under fatal error, I think. I think that's where she goes under. Okay, I think this is our final master completed finished product. Oh my goodness. So we have finally ranked all of the Nancy Drew game culprits. And I think I'm pretty satisfied with it. I think that's kind of how it looks for me. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was so long, but I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got to like watch along with me, try and figure out where in the world to place all of these culprits. But I think this is good. This is good to me. But hey, you may have a different list. Let me know in the comments below what you think, if you agree, what you agree and disagree with, and also too, like, just what you think about some culprits, or who's your favorite culprit. Just let me know. I'd love to talk about this with you. And also let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this, or if you have any ideas for videos. I'm so up to do them. I love making Nancy Drew content. So thank you guys so much for watching, and catch me again in another video soon.